to come here and tell the story about today was I would give a quick rundown of the way that my life has been. I've grown up in the North End my whole life. This is where I live. This is where I spent my life. I know everything that goes on around this community. I've been through everything that you guys see when you guys are walking through these neighborhoods. I went to school at William White for a long time, and then I came here, straight here from William White to Children of the Earth in around 1999. And what ended up happening was I ended up spending the whole 4 years here. I ended up, this is where I fell in love with the game of basketball. We put on an event this year where we gave away 230 basketballs for free to kids in the North End. We did that as an event to try to get kids away from the troubles that we see in the community. Our communities in North End, Central, West End, our people go through a lot of problems. And it's important to realize that we can do something about that. So for me, volunteering and taking on that initiative was something that I did to try to get back to my community. I ended up bringing my son here with me today, who was also here when we finished school. So I had my son when I was 17. My family has been through pretty much everything that you guys read about in the newspaper. When you guys are reading and watching the news, I left here in high school. I left here as one of you guys, where it was like, you know what, I had lots of dreams, I had a ton of vision, I had a ton of potential, and you know what, people said, Leonard, we believe in you, you're gonna do great things. And I really thought that, right? Like, I felt like, you know what, bringing my son to school every single day, and then going on to university and working, and things took a wrong path. I ended up going down the wrong path a couple of years later after that. I had so much potential, I was doing so good, and then I kind of just went down the wrong path. You know, life happened. That's exactly what happened, was life happened, right? I tried to do whatever I could to make sure that I would keep on going, but there was a point in my life where it was like, I fell in with the wrong crowd. We got involved in gangs, we got involved with selling drugs, we got involved in everything that you can think of when it comes to living that kind of lifestyle. And it's not something that I'm proud of, and it's not something that I would ever glorify. But it's important to know that regardless of whatever happens in your life, there's a good chance that you're going to make mistakes. When I was 18 years old and I graduated, I had my son, I told myself, you know what, I'm a man. I'm a man because I'm taking care of my son, and I'm a man because I'm going to school, and I'm a man because I'm working. At 18 years old, you still have a lot to learn. You still have a lot to learn at 18 years old. One of the things that I've been talking about lately is identity and the importance of identity. It's important to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 territory. This is where we are from, people. I think that, you know what, we had a chance to listen to Rudy speak about the impact of Indian residential schools. And it's very important to acknowledge the history of our folks. For me, I went to the history class in grade 11 for a lady called, her name was Jan Orvis Cook, and she told me, Leonard, go in and do your assignments. And I ended up just going into the computer lab and just learning all this stuff about American Indian movement, residential schools, all these other things. So I kind of used that time to learn about my history. So the thing that Children of the Earth does really well is it creates that sense of pride of who you are. And it creates that sense of contribution with being Indigenous in this city. And I feel like that's what is important for our graduates. The thing that I'm trying to tell people is that I've had an opportunity to go out into the community and try to learn from people. And the thing that I noticed is that there is room for Indigenous leaders in the city. I'm on a mission right now to try to create a network of Aboriginal youth that are interested in trying to make a better community. And there is absolutely room at the top for us to kick down the door and start taking opportunities. We are at a point right now where we cannot sit back and be told what to do. We need to go and tell what needs to be done. Our people are at a point where we can't walk around with our head down and think of ourselves as lower than. I went to university right after high school, and I left here thinking that, you know what, everybody hated me. That was what I felt like. I felt like the cops were out to get me, I felt like the government was out to get me, and I felt like everyone else was out to get me. And it's taken me this long to be able to find my gift and what I'm good at. I'm good at speaking, so there's no rush for you guys to say, this is what I'm going to do in my life. You might not be able to find that, right? But it's extremely important to be proud of who you are, and it's extremely important to walk with your head held high every single day, no matter where you go, and to say, you know what, I am proud to be Indigenous, and I am proud to have graduated from Children of the Earth. I feel like a good majority of the success that I've had this year, I went to doing flooring for the last 5 years, so trades, do not underestimate the value of trades. University and college is not the only way to go. If you're going to work, go to work. The thing that I've learned over the last 5 years was the importance of reliability. So I got up and I went to work every single day, and it got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm very talented, this is what I need to do. I need to go out there and try to inspire the youth. Do not underestimate the importance of volunteering. It is absolutely critical. The thing that I'm trying to get people to do is to step outside of their community, step outside of their house for 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week and say, hey, we are going to do whatever it takes to try to solve some of the problems in our community. If we're looking at the issues like CFS, that is going to require us as a community to look out for our little cousins, to look out for our little brothers and sisters and family that has friends, and to be important role models for them. So when you guys leave here, know that there's other people looking up to you. I graduated from here as the only person that's ever graduated high school in my family, to the only person that's ever had a full-time job in my family, to the first person to go to university in my family. So it's very important that you guys continue to do what you're doing. When I graduated from here in 2002, I was one of 12. Out of the 12 people that were graduating that year, I was the only guy to graduate. So in terms of the issues that are happening, people are always quick to talk about the Indigenous men doing bad things to the Indigenous women in our community. I really need to give you guys a round of applause for all of the guys that are graduating here today. Can we give them a round of applause? I was extremely happy to see all of the guys graduating here today because I was the only one. In terms of having success, so what we're doing with Aboriginal Youth Opportunities is a volunteer movement. We're out there every day, and I say that the world is run by people that show up. Everyone has ideas on what they can do to try to change the community. It's a matter of committing to those ideas and taking passion to it. I found my passion. My passion is to be able to try to help out the community and to do whatever it takes. And one of the most important lessons that I've learned this year is it takes a certain amount of commitment, and you have to be relentless towards what you're trying to achieve. That means that I haven't taken any breaks. I don't plan on taking any breaks, and I'm going to go after it every single day. And I would really like to encourage you guys to take that into consideration. And the other guy took 15 minutes to tell you not to give up. I'm telling you, like, just right now, do not give up. There was a point in time where I was like, you know, I gave up on myself. I was probably about 25 years old, and you know, my life went downhill, and I was like, you know what am I going to do? Nobody believes me, nobody's going to hire me. But it's a matter of getting that right. We need to kick down the doors of opportunity and say that we are here, and we are here to stay, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win. So, thank you very much for listening to me, folks. Have a great day.
Okay, next.